Okay, so this is the euro dollar on the 15 minutes time frame. This is the big boy on the right. So I would like you to look at this area here and try to see where is the big boy breach and what is the territory we are in so that we can analyze this further after, okay? Okay, so we broke this area here, okay? We broke down, then we broke down here. Okay, all of these pauses and all of this here, like there's a lot of time in this area, even though it's dragging down, but there's a lot of time in this area and then it breaks, okay, with a lot of strength down. And then here you have this area here, which is weird because it looks like it pulled back here and then it broke above. But I have some times believing that this is actually a real breach for the buy. It might be, and then we would be looking for buys, but I'm not really believing this area. Okay, this breach here doesn't make much sense because it's super fast, and it also looks like it's dragging up. Okay, but somehow after that area, we had this buyer coming up with a lot of strength here. Okay, a lot of strength. Now, if we were to mark the guy who started also on the left side, it would be somewhere around here, right? Somewhere around there. So looking at this area here, we had all of this happening in our trading time frame on the left. And you can see all of these pushes and the rubber band man running here. Now I would like you to look at these areas and try to see where is the V formation, where is the 100% rests. Is there 100% rest that you can see or more than 100? Or is there none? Or some incompletes? Just pause the video and try to gauge what is happening in this area. Okay, so this area here is really messy because every time the seller is coming in front of this buyer, every time. And here it also almost looks like 100% rest, right? This small detail here. But look at what happens after, okay? Immediately the buyer goes up. Why we should not be looking at this one? Because it's not happening in an area of interest, okay? There's no area here that will say to you, okay, this might be a good area for a sell, okay? There's nothing there. So we couldn't really look at these small rests here because they might not represent anything important, okay? Then it pushes higher and it rests almost 100% again. But then it blasts north, okay, with a lot of strength, okay? And we can even count all of this here as a push. Then it retraces, it tests the breach line again. Okay, this was the breach line for the sell side, and it blasts again up. Okay, so at this area, if we were to mark the mini territories, okay, let's mark the mini territories. This would be one of the mini territories. It tested and it blasted. This here is not. Okay, this is super fast. But this here is a mini territory. But what happens in this mini territory? This is also the guy who started. Okay, all of this here was a break, right? And all of this is a fake out. So looking at this fake out here, where would you enter and why? Okay, would you enter up there when it was turning around? Would you enter in this first candle, the second? Would you wait for the entire V? Just look at this area and try to think about this. And try to think where would your take profit would be if you were to enter this kind of scenario here. Okay, so if you were looking at this as a probe, this second candle here is this first candle here that is coming back, the red one. It's too risky to enter here, okay? Because it's not complete. It got a knock up in the end, and it still didn't return, okay? But in the next one, when the next one closes there, eventually you can enter this trade for a sell, okay? After the candle closes. Because after the candle closes, it shows you two things. The big boy created this, okay? All of this. Big fake out at the top. Because look at what candle makes the green candle on the big boy close like that. It's the second red one, okay? The second red one makes that green candle close below the breach line. So it was a fake from the big boy, and it was a fake from this time frame also, because it's like candle up, 1, 2, candle down, and it faked out also this mini territory from here, okay? So both the big boy shows the spike, and this one also shows the spike down, okay? After that, you could eventually enter there, okay? But you would need to be really, really careful with this area here, and especially this area down here, okay? Because what you need to see is the strength that it goes up here and the strength that goes up there, okay? It's too steep, okay? There's a lot of strength in this movement. So we need to be careful about this. Now, the other part of the story, and this is the one that is more interesting, is that after this area here, this would be our big V, right? This would be our big V. But on our big V, what happens in this buyer that comes in? Okay, it was super strong after, before. What happens after? Super slow, right? And with this super slow, if we were looking at this area here in the lower time frames, if this area in the lower time frames are also pointing down, right? If this was our big boy, sell, right? It would be a big sell coming up. So when this happens, you can eventually, from this picture here, you can see that this big boy time frame is looking down still, okay? And even the lower time frames are aligning to go down. Everything is aligning to go down. So when the market opens and starts all of this nonsense, this buyer trying to come up and failing every time, you could eventually get a sell from there, okay? From those areas. Because it's showing you that this big guy, because even in the big boy, this area got tested, okay? It's this area. And now it's getting tested again, but the buyer is not really strong for now, okay? So this has the potential to go down, okay? At least to these areas here. That's what I want to see. And this is how these spikes can work in favor of you to pick up some good trades from here. Because these areas here are also spikes. Just look at what happens in the big boy, okay? You see? All of those are spikes on the big boy time frame. It's not really trying to go up because that seller is still there to knock this down, okay? So this is the areas of our interest to go down again in the second time.